So finally Friday, or what do you think? Nice to get some rest over the weekend. So we have nothing, no checkpoint and no mini project for you to do this weekend. So we will have it next week. We have a mini project number 2, but that is not next week. So today we're going to continue a little bit with Entity Framework. Also the same next week, and we're going to add some more link next week, and then we have this mini project number 2. Today's links are, just let me start this. Let's see, we are here on day 20. It says Entity Framework. There's some links about the Package Manager console. The small window inside the Visual Studio where you could install the packages, and you will doing this add migration and update database. So there are some links about these commands that you could use. So just by checking here, it will show, you see on the right hand side here, all these different commands that you could use. So we've been using like this install package, and we have been using add migration and so on. It's coming down here somewhere. So this is just like a technical reference for you to have a look on the different commands that you could use inside the package manager console. So I also got some questions about it, so where we can find the information about this. So this is the page. So we're not going to go through them all now. You could do it by yourself when you have time. So what we want to do now is actually have a look on the next part, and that is the Entity Framework Bloggy. We had this Bloggy before without Entity Framework, so this is pretty much the same. There's also this normal link where you will have to wait for access, or you can go to the files section and download the file right away. This is a zip file as the other one. So if you have a look, you will see Bloggy here, and we have one called EF Bloggy, Entity Framework Bloggy. So you should download this one and unzip it to your hard drive and then run the solution file. So this is the same as last time. So I have actually, we're going to look if there was more text about it. You will see it's reminding you about this backslash in the connection string. There's also a link about all these connection strings, how they could be built up by yourself also. So here are the instructions. So is anyone having the microphone on? Not. So these are the instructions, what you should do. So if you follow these instructions, you could run the software right away. What we want to do also, or I want you to do, is to add full CRUD to the application, because this is just coming with this read and update. So I want you to make it work like create, read, update, and delete. So this is the same as the last Bloggy, but this is with Entity Framework. So if you manage to do that one, you will most likely manage to do this also. So I'm going to show you, this is the file that I have unzipped. So it has two folders, one Mac and one EF Bloggy. I'm not sure about the Mac part, if it's not something special for the Mac, but we're going to use this EF Bloggy here. And you will see there is inside is a solution file. So I double click on that, so it will start Visual Studio for me. So just wait a week or two. My computer's really getting slow. Now something's happening here. It's Friday for my computer also. So sometimes you will get this message. And it's just saying that it's checking the lines inside the code and do you want to normalize? So you could do this here. So it's just fixing the code so it's looking better on the screen. So what do we have inside here then? So we have the same, almost the same files as the last project. You also see that this is a migrations folder here. So this means that the add migration part is already done. So what you need to do now, because we don't have any database yet, you need to create a database somehow. And so you need to run this update database command. But we will try to see if we can find something with the connection string inside here also. And you see there is a file called blog context. So you remember that we were creating our own context when we were using the examples with the code first. So inside here you will find the connection string. This is also, some of you don't have this local DB on your SQL server on your local machine. So you could maybe have another name. So if it doesn't work for you, so have a look on the SQL Server Object Explorer. So you will see the names of the server you have. So some of you have some other names and so on. So use those names instead if it's not working with this one. This is the name of the database. I could do it with today's date. And I have this is the name, so it fits for my computer already. Because I could see the name here also. So I can use this one. So what I actually need to do now is to do this update database as the instructions in the Teams is telling you. So we check here, open the package manager console. You most likely have it open already. And then run the update database. So we're going to do that. So I go for the package manager console here. And I just type update database. And I run this command, so it will create the database for me because the migration is already done in this project. You can run the add migration command, but it will not make any changes. So we run this update database. And hopefully we get one database. You could check it in the SQL Management Studio, or you could run it from this SQL Server Object Explorer inside the Visual Studio. So I'm gonna do it from here. I'm gonna do a refresh because adding new things, sometimes they are not seen right away. So I'm gonna search for EF Bloggy and I will find it with today's date. So this is prepared for me now. So Let's see what we have. We have this migration history. You always get it. And we have one table called the blog posts. And this is empty if we check the content with the view data. But you see, it has 3 columns inside, but they are empty. So we need to get some data into this. And how do we get data? Yeah, we have a look on the instructions again. Part number 2 here, it says uncomment the functions, clear database, and add some titles in app.cs. So we need to check inside this app.cs file. And there should be 2 functions or methods that are commented away. So we need to uncomment them. So let's have a look again. We go for the app.cs file. Oh, it's asking about this line endings. I go yes here. And you see here, we have 2 lines here that are commented away. So we're going to do uncomment on this one. So this should only be run once. So we could actually check what these are doing. So by having the marked on this clear database and pressing F12, we will come into this, and you will see it's just removing everything inside this database. So it's actually, this is now already empty. So this will not do anything actually, because the database is empty. So this clear database is something that you could run if you want to start over also. So this is just deleting the database with information. The database will still be there, but all the data that is added inside it will be removed. So we go back and we check for the next one. It says add some titles. I go with F12 and I will see what does these lines do. They are creating a new blog post. So the blog post is a class. And they are adding data to 2 objects. You will see that they are using the var here. This is if I would have blog post here, it would be the same. Log. I cannot type. It's Friday. I always blame it on Mondays also. Blog post with the capital P like that. So this is the same. So they are creating 2 objects. And they are using the context. This is also a way to write it with the use. You remember the using part we had in before. So this is using this context and adding the data. So it's not necessary to write it like this. But you will see this line is a little bit special because you see it says you recognize this. This is context. We'll be using like DB as our naming. And that is the table name. And then you have add range. So this means that you can add many things at the same time. So it could be a list of blog posts, or you can actually add 2 separate objects after each other. So this is adding 2 objects of the blog post inside and doing the save changes. So if we go back to our code again, so we are here and it will do these things, and then it will go to the main menu. And the main menu will show you the data that is in the database and a menu what you could do. So let's try to run this. So this would add some data first to the database and then show the menu. So this is what's happened. So it seems to work actually because it's getting these items it's getting from the database. So the two procedures or the functions managed to do this. So we could have a look on the inside this data again. I'm going to do a refresh. And you will see we have two items now here. So this, if you check on this, so these lines fix the data inside the database. So it says also when you have run it first time, comment this away. So you need to do this again. It doesn't harm actually because it will do it over and over again. So, but if you come to that point where you start adding data and deleting data and doing things, if you have these lines still here running, it will delete your database from the beginning and just add the two titles every time. So remember to add comments on this afterwards. So we run this again and have exactly the same as with the other Bloggy. So what I want you to do is to add the CRUD functionality to this. So adding to the menu, you have just update now. So we want to add create and delete also. So you will figure it out if you look on the code, what's happening. So you could see like what is the code doing with this update. So could I do the same way with create and delete? So you need to take care about it. So if you check this B, for example, here. So it's asking here for what blog post to update. So we could choose from 1 or 2. So I'm going to go for 2. It will say what the title is, and I could add a new title. Coding C#. Oh, and it says the blog post is updated. It's coming back to the main menu, and it's having this new title inside here. So I want you to add the functionality for creating a new blog post and also deleting a new blog post. So do you understand what to do today?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So do you have any questions otherwise on this? Crystal clear instructions as always. Or maybe not. Ayad has 1,000 questions. So it's Friday today. Do you have to? So if you don't have any questions, just start right away. And or maybe if you are still doing some of the parts we had before, you could finish that also before, because these things are the same, but just adding some more features all the time. So this is not something that you need to send in, or it's just for your own exercise. So we're going to see again at 1 o'clock. If you have questions on the way, just send them on the chat. We will try to answer them as soon as possible. So see you at 1 o'clock then.
Yes, see you.